a bye this week and a bit of a longer break because you play on Monday your next game. It's a bit of a chance to reflect on the start of the season. I think it's all pretty positive so far.
Yeah, it's a strange one. It's a big break before our next game. So, yeah, look, I think we've played 6 or 7 in a row, so it's a good chance for the boys to probably mentally refresh more than anything. And, we've got a tough 3 games ahead with another bye for the state game. So, yeah, it's a bit of a funny 5 or 6 week period. So, it gives us a good chance to get on track.
Good performance on Saturday against a team that's been struggling, but threw everything at it, and you're able to get on top in the second half and run away with it a little bit, and I guess kick a lot of goals in conditions that weren't that suitable to playing probably attractive footy. So it was a good performance.
Yeah, look, we weren't happy. Certainly, with our first half was pretty ordinary, and it's probably, it was always going to be a challenge. I guess going out and playing, a team that you know are undermanned and conditions were poor. And we probably, certainly weren't at our best in the first half, and we're pretty disappointed at half time. But I thought our first 20, 25 minutes of the third quarter was probably close to the best footy we've played all year, kicking 5 straight into the breeze, and played some really good footy. So, look, there's a lot of positives to take out. We got a few things we will clearly need to work on before we come up against teams that are higher up the ladder. So it's good we get a bye, which gives us a good chance to do it.
Right throughout the year, you've had different guys step up each week, and on Saturday it was probably Blaine Johnson's. He's been building towards that sort of form and had a big game, and Brock Higgins as well. Obviously had a slow start through injury, but that was probably his best game coming back as well.
Yeah, I guess one of the most pleasing things, apart from having most guys available, is that we probably haven't relied on 1 or 2 guys all year. It's been pretty even performance right across the board, and there's been different blokes chipping in each week. So Blaine Johnson's been pretty close to having that game where he kicks 4 or 5. He's probably the big difference for him on the weekend was he converted, kicked 5 straight. But yeah, look, really good even performance from our forwards. I think Saundo, Mayshaw, Blaine Johnson, and even Schleuthy, I think have all kicked between 10 and 20, I think, or 10 and 25. So that even spread of goal kickers has been important. But we've defended better, I think, than we did on the weekend.
Goes without saying that you'd be happy being a game and percentage clear on top of the ladder, but are you happier with the consistency of the performance from week to week, and probably the evenness that you've had pretty much every game? The back line's been solid, the forward line, like you said, has been kicking goals, and the midfield's been outstanding. Just the evenness each week and across the board's been probably most impressive.
Yeah, look, I think we've probably had longer periods of consistency this year, certainly, than last year. We'd fall away and we're really inconsistent at times last year. We still had little patches here and there this year, certainly, but I think our gap between our best and our worst has hopefully got closer together, and we've probably played better footy for longer periods. So, we've worked pretty hard over the summer with our preparation and, making sure we prepare well and consistently all the time. So hopefully that's had a positive result.
Like you touched on before, physically the group's in good shape as well. You don't have too many injuries, and I think Brendan Ferrier will be right to come back after the bye, and aside from him, everyone's pretty much up and going except for Jared Parry, and the depth is great. When you look through the reserves, there's probably a dozen guys there that you'd be happy to call up if you needed to.
Yeah, we've been, touch wood, we've been reasonably lucky to this point. Brendan Ferrier should be available for the Derby game, which would be good. But yeah, look, it's been pleasing, but we had probably the vast majority of the squad did just about the whole pre-season, and it always helps. You're not coming from behind. We've got a couple, but I don't think you can do it with the majority of the squad. So yeah, look, it's been certainly been a good start. There's no doubt about that, but it's a long way to go.
How do you treat this long break now? It's been a tough first half of the year, so you probably use this part to freshen up early on in the break, and then do you have a pretty full-on week next week leading up to playing on Monday?
Yeah, I guess the playing on the Monday probably allows us to have a bit more of a solid footy session, certainly early next week, but it also gives us the opportunity to probably not be so fussed about I guess physical and hard training early this week. We got the opportunity to probably take the chance to teach a few things that we want to get better, and then build throughout the period. So probably that's the way we'll go. We'll probably spend last night a bit of a review, tonight bit more review, and then a few teaching points, bit opportunity to do a bit of line training, which you don't get to do that often when you're on a solid run of games. So, but yeah, we'll be certainly training pretty solid early next week.
Any derby on Foundation Day or WA Day is always massive, but it's probably either going to be first against second or first against third, depending on how East Fremantle goes this week. It's going to have a pretty special feeling to it, this one.
Yeah, look, I mean, derby's probably, the ladders are relevant anyway, whether you're top or down the bottom or whatever. They tend to always be pretty spirited and tight affairs. You know, ladder position probably doesn't mean too much really in May anyway. It'll be early June, but it's probably irrelevant. But you know, it's exciting. Hopefully we get you know, a really good day and get a big crowd and get two teams that play pretty, you know, attacking brands of footy and footy that's good to watch. So hopefully it'll be a great day.
It was a thrilling game back on the Anzac Day derby as well, and they've been in some pretty good form since then. I don't think they've lost since then, and they've beaten Subi, and they've had some impressive wins. They're a pretty dangerous team.
Yeah, really well coached and organised, and you know, certainly really potent. Got a really good midfield. Get a lot of defensively. Don't have a lot of tools, but you know, they do the job, and they certainly give a lot of rebounds. So they've been really good form. So it'll be a good test for us. You've
been part of WA Day or Foundation Day derbies a lot as a West Perth player and captain and coach. How do you compare the two? Is there much difference in the rivalry or the atmosphere between that derby and a Fremantle derby?
No, I don't think so. I think yeah, you can talk about derby rivalries, but then there's, you know, rivalries that probably build within eras and decades between teams that play a lot. So I guess as a player or a coach, they're the ones you look forward to playing, because they're always ultra competitive, and you know, you don't want to lose any game. But generally, games that with, you know, rivals, they're the ones that you certainly want to win.
It's good to see 7 players, I think, in the state squad. Was there anyone that you were especially happy for that got that recognition, or anyone you may be surprised that missed out?
No, I think they're pretty right. I think it's a pretty big squad, so I don't think we'll have 7 that'll play. But yeah, it's a good feather in the cap for the boys that got the chance. I think, you know, Shane Hockey, if he'd been here a bit longer or played a few more games, you know, he'd certainly get a look in, no doubt about that. But you know, I think it's pretty good reflection.
With a short break from Monday to playing the second one on Saturday, would you be happy for them all to play if they get picked and if they want to play?
Look, as a player, I loved it. You know, I love the opportunity to play state footy. So, you know, the decision will be up to the player. So we'll have a discussion about it and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a great opportunity for them. So if they want to play, they can play.
All right. Thank you.
All good.
Thanks, mate.